Hi, I'm Mrs. Kesters from Walsh High School, and this section is on the difference of two perfect squares. Let's go ahead and look at an example of this. Example 1, you have x squared minus 4. Now what we want to do is factor this by putting into two separate binomials within these parentheses. Okay, so you're going to factor this. Sometimes these look so easy that it makes it difficult because we only have two terms right here. So you have x squared minus 4. Now the number one thing you have to make sure is that you have a minus sign right there because it is the difference of two perfect squares. Now if you recognize x squared is a perfect square, so is 4. So what you want to do is you want to split these up, okay? So if you think about the square root of x squared is x and x, and we're going to put those in the front. The square root of 4 is 2 and 2, because 2 times 2 equals 4. Now, the easy part of this, you put a plus and a minus, and it doesn't matter which way you have them, all right? Then you're done. That's all you have to do. Let's go ahead and try another one. Now you've got 9x squared minus 25. So we have a minus sign. Perfect. That's what we first need to look for. The next thing we need to make sure is that we have two perfect squares. 9 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, and 25 is a perfect square. So the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x squared is x and x. The square root of 25 is 5 and 5. Put a plus and a minus. You're done. That's all you have to do. All right, let's look at another one. All right, we got x squared plus 16. So in the middle, we have a plus sign, which is a big no-no. You cannot do this. This answer is prime. Because if you think about it, a lot of students, what they'll do, they have x squared plus 16. They're going to say, oh, we've got x plus 4. And x plus 4, because yes, x squared is a perfect square and so is 16. But let's FOIL this out and see if we get the right answer. X times x is x squared. X times 4, 4x. X times 4, 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. You get x squared plus 8x plus 16, which is not what we wanted. Okay, so this does not work. Whenever you see a plus sign in between two perfect squares, your answer is prime. Do not get caught up on that. There will be a question like that on your quiz or test. All right, let's try this last one. We've got 18x squared minus 2. Now, 18 and 2 are not perfect squares, but we do have a minus sign here. But think about it. What do you notice about these numbers? 18 and 2. You can take a 2 out of both of those. So, factor out a 2 and you're left with 9x squared minus 1, because you need a placeholder there. Alright, make sure you circle this 2 and bring it down so you don't forget it in your answer. Now look at these numbers. 9 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, and 1 is a perfect square. We've got our minus sign, so we are all set. So let's go ahead and factor this. Bring your 2 down. You've got in parentheses. You can put your plus and your minus there. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of x is x. And the square root of 1 is 1. Here's my final answer. You factor that 2 out, and then you have 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1. So make sure, even if these don't look like they're perfect squares, see if you can factor anything out first before you go ahead and write prime. Alright, that's it for this lesson. So if you have any questions, please stop and see me in the math office or email me at kesterz@walshhedgewood.org. I'll see you in class.